one left.
Yeah, most of you know me as James BOWK, and I'm the captain of Mayhem.
James BOWK and those nades, I mean, makes me tighten my sphincter up.
Expecting some big plays here by James.
There it is. Oh my gosh!
There's a swing by James, a big pick, and
What a pre-fire through the smoke and Wookie, and
Oh
James
my
goes down to
God.
stop a double by James.
Yeah, I looked this up the other day. I've been playing since the December of 2016. So for quite a while. There's people around who've been playing longer, but no, December 2016 for me. I actually avoided it for quite a while because I thought it would take too much time up. And so I played in pubs a lot. I'd been asked, whether I wanted to do it, and then I finally was like, okay, I'll play as a reservist. So I played a match as a reservist, and then I ended up joining that team, and then I never left. So that's how I got into competitive Onward. I got hooked straight away. Probably. I think there's aspects where I've missed out, but then I wouldn't give up what we had in Mayhem. I think especially with the reforming and what went forward from there, and sort of what we decided we wanted to do as a team, playstyle wise and all that. I wouldn't trade that for playing for other teams. No hype song anymore. We used to have Potato Bot used to rap for us, but no hype song. We do have a ritual of going into the shooting range, and that's partially get your eye on a little bit, shoot some targets, but it's mainly just to get your head screwed on right. And for me, it's a big stress reliever because I know whether my team's available or not. It's if you're in the shooting range, team comes in there, we go around the table, we have a bit of a chat about the upcoming match, and I know, hey, I've got a roster. That's a big stress reliever for me. Oh yeah, every match. Every match there's regrets, and I probably used to dwell on them quite a lot. I try not to now. It's better to acknowledge them and learn from them, but then move on, because you can't change them. You can't go back and replay it. I'd love to go to bed at night thinking, if only I'd done this, if only I'd done that. But yeah, so there's definite regrets, missed shots, not going for caps, lots of things, yelling at someone when I shouldn't have. There's all that sort of stuff. When it's something I can apologize for, I will. If it's something I can do something different next time, I try to. Yeah, but nothing regret-wise, nothing specific, nothing jumps out as a, wow, this is the one thing which I'd never do again. Lots of things instead. Like we've got in Mayhem we do have like a starting roster. That's mainly just due to who's been available and stuff. So there are players who are our starting roster. But each of those has a different skill set. So like Ghost, in-game leader. So he's a great second IGL. When I often die first or die early, he's the one who takes over. You've got good breach type players. You've got people who you trust on the objective at the end, like Base Slapper, Snowpeak, North Hanger. That's his jam. Like he defends that 1v4. He's done it multiple times. So yeah, it's a hard answer. Everyone's got a role. We've got some good snipers. We've got some good in-game leaders. We've got some good breach type players. We've got people who their responsibility is just to cover the other side of the map, whilst the other four go and do the work on their side, and they do their job, and their job is really important. Yes. Yeah. No. Like, yeah, I am. I think people get too focused on specific throws and specific practice. There are some exceptions. There's like 3 or 4 like practice throws, but in general, most of them are situational because the playing the game, the battlefield, if you want to call it, it's fluid, and so it's more about map knowledge and situational awareness. So it's thinking map knowledge in terms of knowing what objects you can do, what you can throw over, all that sort of stuff, knowing your relationship in space to other parts of the map, in terms of how far you need to throw, what sort of angles you need to do, all that sort of stuff. But then situational awareness in terms of like taking all that information about where you've gotten kills, where someone's shot from, where the potential defenders would be for a given objective remaining. Like, if they've got 2 up on that objective, there's probably only like 3 or 4 spots they're going to defend from, in order to have the objective covered. And so it's, using that information to then throw the utility, throw the grenade onto that position. The throw is very much just the final icing on the cake. It's that situational awareness and map knowledge, which is really the most important thing. Oh, and cook your grenades. Cooking, so important. Cook them, airburst them if you can, right over the object. If in terms of specific mechanic things which can help, airbursting is probably one of the most important things. If you can accurately judge time to target, not just distance, and you throw it such that it bursts over the location, you've sort of given yourself some leeway to not throw as accurately. Because if I throw and I want it to actually stop on a location and explode, I have to get the weight of the throw perfect and all that sort of stuff. Whereas if I've timed it right and I just chuck it hard, as it travels past the location, it can explode and take out the given targets. From helping the devs, basically. So you can get the purple marker, I believe, for map making. So if you make a map, I think you get one. I don't know if you automatically get one for making a map or whether you have to reach a certain threshold. But that's the general way of getting it. But I personally got it from helping the devs out with some, I can't remember exactly what it was, from some problem solving stuff. Maybe getting a bit more involved in the competitive scene. Like, I think there used to be quite a good relationship, and there was, both from a sponsorship perspective, but also from just a general engagement. Like, especially with the reemergence of LAN, VRML LAN and stuff. I think there's a good opportunity for promotion and growth with the competitive side of Onward, being a bit of a flagship for the game. The flip side of that is the competitive side of Onward is such a small percent of the player base. There's a lot more going on. But, that'd be one thing I'd personally quite like them to do a bit more of. That and listen to everything we say and execute it exactly. I've just got it into Contractors Exfil Zone, and I've been enjoying that as like a game to play with friends, but also I like the hideout aspect and the progression aspect of it, which is one thing Onward lacks a bit, is that progression side. But in terms of that teamwork and strategy and the right sort of pace, Onward, it's pretty hard to get past. Probably negative. I've dropped my magazine out a few times doing the wrong button press and tried to virtual crouch and stuff. There's been a few things where I've been like, "Oh, that's a bad habit." But it is a game where you have to really think about your approaches on things, and that's probably not a negative. It's not like learning bad habits in terms of positioning and thinking about other angles you're exposed to and all that sort of side of thing, and how you approach given objects, and you're experiencing new scenarios, which probably helps. But overall, I'd probably say it's a negative. So outside of Onward, my job is I'm in new product development, engineering side of things. Yeah, I've got a small consulting firm, and yeah, other than that, VR is a major hobby of mine. I enjoy designing and making gun stocks, as I'm sure some of you will be aware. And then the rest of the time is taken up by family. Yeah. It's just a company made to make VR gun stocks, basically. How it came about. Basically, I wanted to make a gun stock because I didn't enjoy floaty hands. And at the time, there weren't too many options out there. There were some things you could 3D print and stuff. And I think I 3D printed a fully 3D printed thing, and it was like 20 plus hours of printing or something. It was just really heavy and not very stiff and didn't go together really well. And I was like, well, I can design better. So I made something for myself. Then teammates were like, oh, I'm looking at gun stock. I was like, I'll make one for you. Made it for teammates. And then they were like, okay, this is better than anything else I've got. Some of them had other gun stocks, and actually it was pestered for quite a while. I think Theta was he pestered me a lot, saying that I should sell them and all that sort of stuff. I didn't have the time, didn't think I had the time, all that sort of stuff. And then my wife was actually like, we'd had our first kid at that point, and just thinking about something which she could do, and to keep her mind ticking over, and so mentioned the potential gun stock side of things, and I was like, okay, if you're giving permission, I'm going to go for it. And so yeah, that's where it turned into an actual business aspect. Sometimes they get into like the wrong groups, the wrong crowds and stuff a little bit, which I'd say, because Onward is such a team game, get involved with people who share similar interests or similar vision for how the game is played. Find some similar passion or aspect, rather than just purely looking to go with the best individual players. I think that's where Mayhem has done well, is because we're a group of people who get on generally pretty well, and we enjoy playing with each other in different games. We enjoy playing with each other in Onward, outside of matches. So yeah, I'd say try not to pick just purely based upon performance if you can. Obviously, there's a desire to, and trying to listen and absorb and be part of the team. If anyone ever has questions about the game or anything like that, feel free to just message me. Pretty happy to talk about. Once I get started talking about Onward, pretty hard to stop me. So yeah. Oaks, if you team kill me again,